Hey guys, Akil Stokes here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. Once again, in today's podcast, I'm going to share with you one of our accountability sessions. These are weekly interviews that we do with the traders on our platform, giving them a chance to really introduce themselves to the community, share their story, and of course, keep us updated and, well, really hold themselves accountable with what they should be doing. Now, today's episode is pretty cool. I think a lot of you guys are going to relate to this because it actually speaks to a trader who has gone from, I quote, the dark side to the light side, meaning that he's been through trading education before. It wasn't what he expected, right? Not to badmouth anybody. But now he's in a different type of platform, a better platform, and he's able to make some really good comparisons about the differences of not only how he's been trained, but kind of what he needs to do in order to find success. Now, what's cool in this episode is he talks about getting whipped around and slapped in the face by some of the veteran members of our platform. Our community here at Tier 1 is built up of not only aspiring traders that are brand new, but it's also some really good veteran traders. We try to keep some of the most brilliant minds around. That way they can kind of reach their hand down and help those who are coming up. And well, he kind of got slapped back to boarding school, he says. But he does a plug for one of our clients' podcasts, Naomi. She has a great podcast called the Trading Journey Podcast. And if you guys are currently on your trading journey, I recommend checking it out. It's very similar to what I'm doing here, but the difference is perspective. Obviously, we never end our trading journey. I'm still on mine, but I'm at the point where I have made it. I still feel uncomfortable saying that, but I have made it. So a lot of my perspective is looking back on my past stories, and they're valuable. Don't get me wrong. You guys have done a great job of telling me that, but I think it's different when you can hear it from someone that is currently going through the journey, because the perspective is a little bit different when they don't know what the other side looks like or when they freshly overcame an obstacle. And I'll read you the brief bio from Naomi's podcast. It says, the aim of this podcast is to provide you with clarity in understanding the reality of learning how to trade and the journey. My primary goal is to debunk the myths and misconceptions of learning to trade through documenting the challenges and solutions that I personally experience as I move through the process from novice to consistently profitable trader. Everyone's trading journey is unique, yet if a shared tip or trick in this podcast can shave 1% off your learning curve, then it's a job well done. And again, it's someone that is not, she's faced a lot of challenges in her career, but she's still facing many new ones. And I think it's just very valuable to see someone that is currently going through that right now and get their take and get the lesson. So please check out her podcast. Again, it's called the Trading Journey Podcast. It's an excellent listen. Without further ado, I apologize for the long intro, but let's get into today's interview and hopefully you enjoy it.
No worries. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Enjoying lockdown. What about you?
You're enjoying lockdown, are you?
Yeah, it's been a massive benefit for me, really.
Yeah, right.
Being able to work from home, and it's given me just the freedom to really crack on with trading.
Yeah, this is the first time we've spoken on here, eh?
Yeah, so I'm fairly new. I've been in the platform for 2 months.
Right.
So I'm fresh meat, as Gabby likes to call us.
Oh God. Excellent. Tell us a little bit about yourself, mate, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, so I'm 30. I live in Leeds. Qualified tax consultant, and I'm currently working for Leeds City Council.
Right.
Obviously, with it being lockdown, I'm working from home at the moment, and the way that my job set up is that I've got a lot of flexibility, so I can pretty much do all of my work maybe 2 hours a day. Obviously,
Right.
there's less distractions at home, so yes, I've just been able to crack on with trading for the last 2 months, which has been good.
Amazing.
But I think I've got a bit ahead of myself, as I'll come on to later.
Yeah. How did you first stumble on into trading?
Yeah, so it was kind of my friend. I was aware of trading before, but my friend joined another course provider last year. So I jumped on board with him. I had a pretty bad experience with them because they were more focused on network marketing. So they just wanted to get people through the door, really.
Right.
They did have some education, but nothing like what you guys have got at Tier 1. So I had a bad experience, ended up putting it on the back burner with them. But the upshot of being with them was that I came across yourself last year. So kind of followed your Always Free podcast and your newsletter.
Oh, cool.
And then I also followed Naomi, listened to her podcast, try to get a bit more of an insight into trading, how it actually works, having been put off really by the other guys. And then, yeah, I guess I started following you in summer last year. And then I took the plunge, 2 months ago.
You've sent me some messages or email. I recognise your name.
Yeah, I sent you a DM on Instagram just asking about whether a trading business would be one that would be suitable for Tier 2 in the Tiers of Freedom.
Yeah, right.
And pretty much as soon as you replied, I did the free trial, and yeah, here I am.
Amazing. So how have you, before we get into kind of where you're at the moment, why trading?
Well, I think I've always wanted more. I've always wanted more than the 9 to 5. So before trading, I've dabbled in match betting, selling things on eBay. I've never really saw them through.
Right.
Even though I think that's one of my main problems back then, was that I never kind of committed to something and saw it through to the end. But yeah, trading, I think it just gives you so many opportunities. The time freedom, the possibilities really is what attracts me. And when I've actually got into trading and the education, it's kind of blown my mind, like things like structure levels holding and the psychology behind it when I've digged in. So I just really enjoy it.
That's what I love most about it, just the psychology of the market.
It's crazy, yeah.
So how have you found Tier 1 in your first 2 months then? Has it kind of opened your eyes or changed your mindset towards trading?
No, definitely. It's night and day from what I did with the other course provider. As I say, they were more interested in praising people for network marketing, getting more people through the door, rather than actually seeing people progress. So they did have some education, but it was more I'd compare it to
be a marketer.
I'd compare it to basically maybe the cornerstone. Very basic terminology, what a pip is, but it didn't really go much further than that. So it's kind of left to your own devices. So it's like, I'm paying, paying, decent money and not really learning anything apart from, tell your mates to come and join us. So it's like, it's pointless. That wasn't what I signed up for. But yeah, the quality of the content in Tier 1 is crazy, and the community as well. It's been invaluable for me over these last 2 months.
Amazing. So what are you working on right now?
Up until this week, I'd worked my way through the foundation, and I was looking into the strategies. So did that all in 2 months. So that just tells me right there that I was rushing. But I actually asked a question in the chat about Fibonacci's. And thankfully Naomi, Tony and George kind of picked up on that there were gaps, shall we say, in my knowledge. I'd actually drawn a trend wrong. So I spoke to George about it, went into a bit more detail, and he handed me my own ass politely.
Good old George.
And he slapped me back to primary school, back to the foundation. But he's absolutely right. I was able to argue, how I thought the concepts were being applied. I was able to relay the rules, but I was doubting myself, and I'd obviously got it wrong as well. So that just goes to show that, well, I have spent 2 months, and I've been working over that time. I maybe haven't been applying what I've been learning to the extent it needs to be.
He's dead right. He's dead right in making you go, or advising that you go back, because it's so important to learn that stuff, particularly trend identification and being able to read price like that. It's a bit like when you learn to drive. If you didn't learn the road signs, or you didn't learn the kind of dotted lines on the road, and you just went out in your car and you know, you didn't know what they meant, like you didn't know how to read a one-way sign, and you just went up the road, you know, you wouldn't last very long. You'd be taken out.
Yeah, completely. It's humbling when you get told you're doing it wrong. But I really respect his opinion, and even though I got a bit of a telling off, I felt like I've got clear direction now. I know what I need to do. So I felt better after it. So yeah, now I know what I need to do. So I'm just going back and rewatching videos now, making making rules, writing things in my own words, making sure that I understand it, and making sure that I understand it in and out, inside out. Sorry. So there's no doubt in my mind. I think I do need that foundation really. There shouldn't be any question about the basics about such as trends, because I'm not going to progress if I don't get that correct.
No. So you're through Foundation 1, not Foundation 2.
Yeah, I was through Foundation 1, and I started working through Foundation 2 as well. But what I wanted to do was then, I thought with Foundation 2, it's teaching you about how to trade, like trading tactics, where to put your stops and entries and things like that. And I thought it's probably more efficient for me to first figure out what kind of strategy I want to trade first, and then I'll come back and go into detail on the relevant tactics, entries, and things like that. So that's how far I got then. But having spoken to George early this week, I'm now going to go back to the very beginning and do it all properly. So I'll probably spend another 6 weeks to 2 months applying things correctly, and then I'll move on from there.
Yeah, good plan, man. You sound like you sound like you're switched on. Like I don't know, and obviously you've seen what it's like on the dark side. You're now on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to make any mistakes. You know what you've got to do.
Yeah, definitely. But I still fell into it because I'd listened to Naomi's podcast before I joined Tier1, and she said all about brushing and things like that. And I probably still did rush. So I think it's difficult not to want to to get towards the strategies and get towards the action, the sexy stuff. But yeah,
I'm so glad that she launched that podcast. You know, that is so valuable. That podcast is so valuable for people on the journey. It's really, really cool. Top work. So what's the plan going forward then? Like, what's your next steps? Where do you want to get to in the next 3 months, or in terms of learning? What's the plan? What's the structure? What's your routine?
I've kind of followed Naomi's education planner.
Amazing.
I've already told Naomi I'm one of her groupies. So I'll just pick up my. I've got like a kind of plan set out. Bear with me. I want to kind of have a strong foundation in kind of the next 6 weeks to 2 months. So kind of have that completed by August time. I then want to.
So how do you define having a strong foundation? Understanding everything in the foundation modules, right?
Yeah. So
being able to explain that to someone.
Yeah, and also testing myself as well. That's another trick now. Testing myself. Whilst I'm working through the modules now, I'm writing down little questions, and then I'll come back to them at the end of the week. If I get through that confidently and without having to refer back to my notes, then I know that I know it and I know that I can apply it. I'll also be asking questions. I think that was really valuable for me, asking questions in the chat. George has kindly said I can pass work on to him for review, and I think that's going to be one way to to see if I am actually progressing and learning. So I think that's going to be the test really of whether I should move on or not.
Amazing. All right. So is there any time horizons, like big milestones you want to hit, or you're just going to focus on the process? Yeah,
I'm focusing on the process. I've got a kind of skeleton that I'd like to work towards, but I'm just committed to seeing this through because I feel like I'm 30 now. I need to, I've done things in my career and things like that, but it's never been what I've really wanted. So I need to see this through. So I guess I'm aiming for 12 to 18 months to be a confident trader and consistent. So I want to, spend kind of 6-7 months maybe on back testing, but again, that could be flexible. But yeah, I've kind of got an idea of maybe the start of January 2022. So yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. To see how it goes. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, man, you've kind of opened up and let everyone know where you're at and what you're up to. So you've laid your cards on the table now.
Yeah, that's it.
You got to go and do it. But it'd be good to catch up in, like, I don't know, 8 weeks or so, just to see where you're at.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely up for that. I think I booked one in for 6 weeks in August, but that was before.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but that was before
cool.
I got sent back to primary school. So I might just.
Well, you can reschedule it or you know, put it back a bit. But yeah, I look forward to seeing where you're at, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, mate.
Cheers, you too.